right? Join in loving your community and the people that support you, right? This week is about seeing the changes in other people and celebrating it. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, right? So it's a really beautiful thing as we celebrate the people around us and their journey and growth. Um, just look around, right? Look around at the people you have around you. I hope you keep people around you that make you want to do better, or they keep you here, right? Or they keep you here. Some people, like I've asked this before, do you think people know that they're angels if they're here on earth? Do you think they know? Do you think that they know what a difference that they make? I don't know, girl. Do you think angels know that they're angels? Do you guys know what a difference you can make in someone's life? Like I said, I have more. More this week is about celebrating the people around you and the changes that you've seen. If you want to tell people how, um, that was our little angel. You do have that thing on your shoulder. I had a dream about that. You remember that? Um, if you have something you've seen in someone that you want to celebrate, please send it to me or jump in and say stuff. That's what we do. Okay. That's what we're doing this weekend. You believe he is? You know my dream, Jen. Someone chopped his wing off. I told them not to. I tried to get them not to. And he said yes. And I said no. And then there he went doing his shit. And let him cut off his wing as a scar to prove it. I said no. I was screaming, don't do it. Any of you who have witnessed people grow, who have lost people to growth, who are currently growing and don't know what the fuck's happening, this class is going to be for you. This is gratitude for seeing growth in others. Like, have you truly been able to witness someone really growing? It's a really wonderful thing. It makes you love people differently when you see them in a different light, right? When you watch them and they can inspire you, you know. It's me. I don't know what this. You not to let them cut your wing. I said no. And you said you had to. Why is it so hard to recognize someone's growth? Why do we freeze them in an old version of themselves? How can you start seeing people through new eyes with gratitude instead of fear? Of course. It was a rough patch, but we got it. We got it. We got it. Yourself this. When was the last time you truly saw someone? When was the last time you truly saw someone? Like you saw he was a grower, not a shower. When is the last time you truly saw someone? Truly seeing someone doesn't always mean like look into my eyes. I mean, it does for me because I'm an eye person, but when did you really see somebody? When was the last time you truly saw someone not for who they used to be, but for who they're becoming? When did you see someone for who they were? Or when did you see someone for who they're becoming? It's really hard to change your thought process on seeing someone from who they were to who they're becoming. Most of us don't, not because we're bad people, but because our brains, our emotions, and our survival instincts get in the way. They get in the way because, people don't like to be hurt. Sometimes people will show up in your life and they will be exactly who they present themselves to be. It does not happen often, but it can happen. Why do we freeze a version of someone? Let's start with the truth that most of us don't like to admit. We hold people hostage as old versions of themselves. How many of you guys know someone and you, in your mind, hold them as hostage of an old version of themselves? And I'm not saying some people don't rightfully need to be held hostage as the old versions of themselves. There are some people that this is going to stay, right? I'm not suggesting take down all your walls and just let everybody in. Have boundaries, right? But we do hold people hostage of old versions of themselves. Like, do you or would you like to be judged on who you were 25 years ago? There's many people that do that. Many people. But it's not out of cruelty, it's out of comfort, right? Been burned one too many times. I think I'm just going to know that you're an ass, right? That's how that works. Your brain loves patterns, right? Your brain loves patterns. That's safety. Your brain wants to know what to expect. If someone is always defensive, you brace yourself, right? If someone is always chaotic, you prepare for impact. If someone's always closed off, you adjust your heart, right? You just don't try to pry in, or you find a way in. Maybe you got to beat up some crocodiles to get in, but you try to find a way in. Is the version of them that I react to their past, or is it their present? Are you truly reacting of who they are right now, or is it of a past version of themselves that you've experienced? Now, I'm not suggesting that many times the same version is going to, like a cyclical pattern, come back around, because it does sometimes, but not always. Not always. We learned how to survive the old version, even if it hurt us. If someone hurt you, you know how to survive that version of them, right? So you already know what to expect. You already know how to handle it. So if they're not that same person, it throws you for a loop. So you assume that they are the same. Even if it wasn't healthy, we still learn the rule book. If you came from an abusive house, if you came from any kind of abuse, right? Any kind of control behavior, if you're in a relationship that feels control, whatever, like, you learn the rule book. You know how to make things easy. You know what makes things more difficult. It does keep us frozen as well. The new version requires new rule books, and that makes you feel uncomfortable. Have you ever met someone that makes you get a new rule book? Person broke the rule book. Have you ever met one of those people? New version requires a new rule book, and that feels very uncomfortable for people, especially ones who have been hurt consistently. Here's some others. Let's be honest, sometimes someone else's healing hits a nerve in us. Someone else's healing hits a nerve in us. Their peace reminds us we still carry chaos. What, you're not going to be chaotic anymore? Like, the fuck? What's wrong with me? You just want to be over there and be like happy? Like, what? Their boundaries remind us where we're still shrinking. Their boundaries remind us that we're still shrinking. Their progress reminds us that we're stuck. Have you been around people and you see their lives just excelling, and it's going really beautifully from the outside for them? And then it makes you feel like you're just stuck. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I just stuck? Their progress reminds us of why we feel stuck. They're growing, they're going, they're moving quick. I'm stuck here. They left me here. Right? Abandonment wounds. I understand. Does their growth make me feel inspired or does it make me feel insecure? Does their growth make me feel inspired or does it make me feel insecure? You have the choice for the growth to make you feel inspired. Their growth was never meant to make you feel small. Ever. Right? Those of us that love to grow and love to pull people along, just waiting. Everything that's mine is yours, right? We're just waiting. It's not ever meant to hinder or think anyone is leaving you. Some people might do it that way. I don't, right? Their progress reminds us of where we feel stuck. Does their growth make us feel inspired or does it make me feel insecure? We're afraid that their growth may not last. Have you ever had that? Like, is this too good to be true? Are we really going to do it? Is it too good to be true? Are you too good to be true? We cling to the older version because it feels safe. We know what's happening. We know what's going to happen. We cling to that version because if you change that version in your mind, you could still get hurt again. You could still get hurt again. But if I'm afraid that your growth won't last, then, well, I won't get hurt, right? And the old version feels safe because I know what's happening. Expecting someone to stay the same is a disguised form of self-protection. Growth of others can feel like abandonment. Who has abandonment wounds in here? Probably everybody. Everybody. Something changes immediately. It's what did I do wrong? Right? We all have had those before, right? What did I do wrong? How come they didn't call? Why didn't they text? What's wrong? What did I do? What I do? It's not always about that. Like sometimes people just have shit going on. And I definitely am one that anytime used to react when people would react a certain way to me, I would feel like I've done something wrong. And sometimes it's just easier to think that I've done something wrong. It's fine. It's fine. Right? It's fine. Growth can feel like abandonment. When someone heals, they might stop enabling, overgiving, stop shrinking, and stop people pleasing. And that feels like a loss for those around. When someone heals or is healing, they might stop enabling, they might stop overgiving, they might stop shrinking, they might stop people pleasing as much. This can feel like a loss. Has someone's healing ever felt like rejection to me? People that you love and that are there in your life, and something changes and it feels like rejection. I have. Every time people don't show up like constantly, I feel that way, but I know that that's not true. I know that that's just stuff that I work through, right? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. But once you start to recognize it, you're at least able to recognize it and know that that's not true, right? True. We grieve the version that we understood. We grieve the version that we understood. Even if they were unhealthy, even if we outgrew them, old patterns are familiar and familiar feels safe. Safe feels like love, even when it wasn't. There is a difference in that kind of love, right? There is a difference in that kind of love. And then there's a difference in people that love you and all the different changes in your life. Their growth highlights areas that we're just not ready for yet. Have you had these relationships and friendships to where they grow? And as they're growing, it highlights areas that you're just not ready to deal with yet. And that's okay, right? That is fully okay. I'm just bringing up examples. If they start setting boundaries, we suddenly feel exposed for not having any. Does that make sense? If you're around people who are growing and you're not doing it, then this comes up. If they start setting boundaries, we feel exposed because we don't have any. If they start speaking up, we realize how often we stay quiet. If they start loving themselves, we recognize our own lack of self-love. What part of me struggles the most when someone close to me grows? What part of you struggles? What part of you struggles the most? Growth can create distance even when no one did anything wrong. True. Their frequency changes. Their needs change. My needs change. The language changes. Things change. You're not good enough. It doesn't mean that these people love you less because they're going through something of their own. That's why I say it's so important to tell people how you feel. It's so much easier to give time and space when you know someone really does love you or really does care about you. They just need space and time to deal with shit, right? We're all on the same level of, not on the same level, but we're all human, right? We all are struggling with, like, I love these people. I want them around me. And then they just, dissipate or whatever. And it happens in all of our lives. But it is so much easier to know how you feel or how people feel, right? Frequency changes, needs change, their language change. It doesn't mean they love you less. It means that they love themselves more and they need time. And they need time. Hi, Joan. You're part angel. Huh. And sometimes when that shift happens, it feels like a goodbye. Have you guys had that? I have. I have had that shift I've had that shift before and it felt like goodbye and it's heart wrenching. It's soul, right? It hurts, but it doesn't mean goodbye, right? Things are cyclical. They come back around when they're needed. Why gratitude matters in recognizing growth. Let's shift the lens. Recognizing someone's growth is not just about them, it's about you too. Being open to see someone's growth and appreciate them and their journey is not just about them, it is about you too. Because when you see someone's evolution with gratitude, you stop expecting old wounds to appear. When you see someone's journey with gratitude, you stop expecting old wounds to constantly appear. You stop blocking connection. That word. Ugh. Has anyone in here ever experienced me blocking a connection with you? I don't even always do it on purpose, but when it happens, I've been told you can feel it. Because it goes from I love you with everything in my being to you don't exist. And it's not done on purpose. And I'm aware of that now, right? If you've been on that end, right, it's not fun. Yeah. Right? You stop expecting old wounds to appear. You stop blocking connection. That's what that does. You block connection. When your default is that. When that is your default, right? It blocks connection. It really does. It blocks growth. It blocks so much stuff. So much stuff. You stop projecting old stories. You stop projecting old stories about who someone is or who you were. You create a safer space for growth within yourself. Seeing someone's growth with gratitude is powerful. It says, I honor who you are becoming. I am grateful that I get to witness this. Out of all the people in the whole world, I get to witness this growth. Not everybody gets to witness it. And I don't need to shrink back. I don't need you to shrink back into who you used to be. I don't need you to shrink. Right? Who in my life deserves to be seen in a new light today? Who in your life deserves to be seen in new lights with new eyes? All right, so this is where we're going to shift into practice. Okay. Is my reaction based on who they were or who they're trying to be? When you're having a conversation with someone or you're arguing with someone, is your reaction based on who they were or who they're becoming?